Anyway, so I'm in business in finance, and what I do is project funding. 1990, when I finished high school, I had a choice to make. My parents said, "You're going to go to France," because I'm born in Senegal, and Senegal is an ex-colony of France. So when you finish high school, you want to go to university, you have two options: go to university in Senegal or take a scholarship and go to Paris. You know, at that time, I already had a rebellious brain that said, no, everybody going here to Paris, I want to go to America. So I told my parents, you know, I'm going to America. And the question was, why? Everybody goes to Paris. The government gave you a full ride for 4 years. Why don't you go to Paris? I was not interested in what's easy. Okay? What was easy to me was I've got a full ride. I study hard enough to get a full ride. So I'm going to go to the US. So, and that's how I landed in the United States in 1990. Now, 1990, I lived in the US. I didn't go to school right away. Even though school was my reason, I'm on the street of New York hustling like everybody, you know. I'm selling memorabilia, I'm selling t-shirts, I'm selling umbrellas, anything that can make me at the end of the day $500 for the day, I'm doing it. And one day I'm in the train. For those who know New York City, I'm in the number 6 train going to Manhattan, going to downtown, and I sat down next to a gentleman who was a Wall Street guy, and we're just having a casual conversation about life. And he said, "What country are you from?" I said, "I'm from Senegal." So he said, "Is it a rich country or a poor country?" I said, "It's a very poor country." Then he said, "Well, do you have land?" That's the first question he asked me. I said, "Yes, plenty of land." He said, "Do you have the coastline for fishing?" I said, "Yes, we do have the coastline for fishing." "Do you have water, rainwater, rivers?" I said, "Yes, we do have plenty of water." "Do you have natural resources?" I said, "Yes, we do have natural resources." Then he paused for a second. He said, "My friend, if you're poor, it's your fault." I was 20 years old, and I'm thinking, why? This guy, what he said was the truth. He absolutely said the truth. We have everything to develop ourselves, but we're poor. So if we're poor, it's our fault. So it woke something up in me. So I started to think, what can I do to change the dynamics? I said, okay, I'm on the streets of New York hustling. Every day I'm making $1,000, $2,000 doing this, that, and the other, but I'm not in New York to make money. I'm in New York to study and to become a game changer in Africa. And then I just stopped everything, went to school. I focused on school, did my 4 or 5 years, get my degrees, and then from there, I said, okay, if I want to help Africa, I don't know Africa. The first thing for me is, I'm born in Senegal. I'm from Dakar. And I left Dakar after high school, landed in New York. So I don't know Africa at all. So the first thing is, how can I help Africa if I don't know Africa? So I sat down and took a minute to put together a plan. Because in anything you do, if you don't have a plan, you need a map. So I took the whole continent as a map, and I divided it in 5 different regions. And every region, you have north, south, east, west, and center. And I took every region and I divided it in industry. What's the cotton industry doing? What's the peanut industry doing? What's the construction doing? Those days, this is 1995, there was no cell phones, there was no internet. So you had to physically get on the plane, travel, sit down with the Chamber of Commerce, meet all who's who in the peanut industry, and this is how I started. I would just plan myself to go to Africa, West Africa, one country at a time, and I'm just trying to know, how can I help you guys go to the next level? Because at that time, I was trying to also bring American companies in Africa, but I needed to be ready. So I went back home, all across Africa, from Tanzania to Namibia, where my sister's from, to Dakar, to Nigeria, everywhere, just to study what can I do to help the local people. By the time I finished, Now I have to do the conclusion of what I've done. What's the problem in Senegal, the problem in Nigeria, the problem in Tanzania, in Namibia, in Sudan? They all have the same problem. They have projects. They have capable people, but they have no access to money. That was the problem. And then when I dig deeper, I realized that if they borrow $100, they can pay $120, but they don't have a guarantee to guarantee that money. I said, okay, the problem is not money. The problem is not finance. The problem is guarantee. We just have somebody just worked in. Okay, come on.